Hey sippers, welcome to our show. While we're spilling, grab your cocktail and start sipping. Get ready to unwind with your girls.
Thank you for joining us for Cocktails and Conversation with your girls. I'm your girl Shataz, and these are my beautiful calls.
Hey sippers, it's your girl, Miss Jones to you.
Hey sippers, it's your girl Primp and Proper.
Hey sippers, I'm Shay Marie.
We are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Make sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram at Cocktails and Conversations. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now get comfy because tonight we're discussing, do you let family or friends borrow money? And are you enabling bad habits by doing so? And since we're on the topic of discussing money, our sip and spill wouldn't be juicy if we didn't chime in on the world's most expensive divorce settlement between Amazon founders Jeff Bezos and his spouse Mackenzie Bezos.
Our drink for tonight is the Coral Springs tea. This drink is a quick mixture that is guaranteed to quench your thirst. This drink is a combination of simply lemonade, Disarono, and honey, garnished with a lemon on the side. So ladies, let's try this lemonade. Oh, Coral Springs tea. I'm sorry.
What do you think, Shay?
Yummy. It's good. Now, you have to be careful with this because I can drink like a few of these. I like it.
You like it?
And is the honey the only sweetener in this?
Mm-hmm. But that's the reason why it's so important to use Simply Lemonade, because Simply Lemonade is very sweet.
Oh, it is? Okay. Okay. It's good.
You like it?
Well, I love it. It's very refreshing, and the honey is just perfect.
So I love it too. This is like my kind of drink because I love lemonade and I love honey. And Disarono, that's like the same thing that they mix with amaretto sour. So that's the best dark liquor, I feel like. I don't really feel like it's liquor. It's more like a chaser.
It is though.
Yeah.
Sippers, as you all may know, I'm preggers, so of course I can't have what the ladies are having. So I have Simply Lemonade, I have honey, and then a sprinkle of apple juice to kind of have
give it the color.
To give it the color. So honestly, it didn't. You know what? I should have put a little more apple juice, and then it probably would have gave it if I would have did half and half. But honestly, I love this drink. It's very tasty, very refreshing. Definitely one on the books that I always make sure go-to drinks for the girls.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like a great summer drink, picnic.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't taste like liquor, it just tastes like lemonade.
And with your dress, you look good drinking it. Yes.
Sip again, sis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey sippers, it could happen to anybody, life that is. You can find yourself short on a mortgage or rent, car note, utilities, and even unexpected car expenses, and you don't have the money right away. Credit cards are maxed out, then what? Asking to borrow money from a family member or a friend can be difficult in an awkward conversation. The reality is no one likes to part ways with their money. And when you make arrangements to borrow money from a family or a friend, you can put yourself at risk in creating a strain within the relationship if expectations aren't met. Conventional wisdom holds that you should never lend more than you can afford. So the question at hand is, do you let family and friends borrow money? And if you do, are you enabling bad habits? So yes, I do let friends and family borrow money. If you ask for money the first time and you pay me back, I'll let you borrow a second time. Now the third time, that's where the questions come. Because at this point, I feel like you're probably mismanaging your money, and now I'm starting to feel like an enabler. And I don't want to feel that way. So therefore, I'm going to ask questions, either you're comfortable with it or not, but I want to know what you're doing with your money and what could I do to help. Educate them on money management or create a budget that could help them in the future. Now, let's talk about the bad ones. where you lend them money and they come back a second time and totally disregard that they owe you from the first time. I feel like you're disrespecting me now. We're gonna sit up here and you're gonna come and ask me for money and just totally dismiss the fact that you owe me from the first time. That's where, no, you can't borrow. And there's 3 characteristics I look at when people come to borrow. If you're constantly drip in designer, you can't borrow from me. I'm sorry, I don't even wear designers like that. So no, you can't borrow from me. Another characteristic is you're constantly posting on social media with new outfits every day. So now you're an Instagram model and you want me to fund your bad habits. No, not happening. I can't fund bad habits. And another one is we all have that friend who have that Budweiser pocket with champagne taste.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not funding those bad habits. No, I can't do it. So yeah, I'm definitely here to help assist with money management and ask questions. So either you like it or not.
This topic kind of hit home for me because I am the type of person that I'm so free with money because I feel, well, this characteristic in me has never led me wrong. I don't really hold on to money tight. I have a good heart, so if I hear people going through it, I always want to help. You understand what I mean? But at the end of the day, with having a heart like that, you get burnt too. And I've had people, I mean, strangers even inbox me on Facebook. What? Yes, inbox me on Facebook. Oh, and you know, I feel bad. Oh, you know, I don't have money for my kids, and you know, the whole split. Yes, I mean, a girl, she inboxed me and gave me a whole sob story. And I ended up sending her the money. And do you know this heifer never gave me the money back and then turned around, blocked me on social media. And it was just kind of like, what was all of that for? Honestly, when I give somebody something, I give it out of the great goodness and greatness of my heart. And if you do give it back to me, hey, that's a bonus. And if you don't, I personally know, and I always say this, if I was willing to let you borrow 100, 200, you can't even come and ask me for $5 no more because you weren't able to even pay back your debt. You understand what I mean? Yes. I think that, you know, we have to, for family and friends, although, you know, someone's back is against the wall, definitely, I do think if you do have it to help and that person is a person that's responsible, definitely do try to help them. But somebody who has bad habits, I'm going to send you to the check casher store, Scott, because I don't have time to be dealing with you. No, I'm serious. I don't have time to be dealing with you, and you always got a problem. Like, you call every time you have a problem. Like, don't get me wrong. We have those expenses, those unexpected expenses. Everyone has been in a situation where, you know, something has happened where you're short on something. You understand what I mean? But damn, every week you short on something. Every month you're going through something. Oh, don't call me no more. And
I would prefer them, if you can't pay back, just ask, can you have it? I'm okay with that. Yeah. If you don't have it, I don't mind giving it to you. But don't say you're going to borrow and don't pay me back.
Yeah.
Or at least when you're borrowing, say, you know, I'm taking this from you right now. I really don't know when I'm going to be able to give it back to you. Yep. But I promise you, I'm going to try to see what I can do. You understand what I mean? But at least let that common courtesy. You understand what I mean? But hey, I take it as a win-win because now I know that person dare not open their mouth and ask me for not one penny.
Yes.
Well, as for me, I do let friends and family borrow money, but I always use this principle. If I don't have it to lose, I don't have it to give. So if I can't afford to take that loss, I don't give it out. Because I remember one time I let someone borrow money, and it was for I think I had to pay like my car insurance. And they were like, oh, they're going to give it to me in like 2 weeks. I was like, okay, but by then I won't be late. So I gave it to them, and I ended up not ever getting the money back.
Wow.
And so my insurance got canceled because remember, like, that was money I had set aside, and now this, like, my next check is for something totally different. So it's just like in my insurance, because I had a bad driving record, it was like $400 something. So it was, so my insurance was high, so it's not like, oh, I could just pay it off my next check. So it was like me kind of playing catch up. So it put me in the hole, and then that person is just like freely. And then, but I didn't let that discourage me, because I just feel like when somebody puts their pride aside and asks me for something, it takes a lot, because I'm not the one to borrow money. You will never hear me borrowing money from anybody, which I'm like, oh, that's kind of bad, because I could be at like I could be at the bottom, and I'll just be like, I got it.
Yep.
I got it. And I don't know why I'm like that, but so when somebody else asks me for money, I'm like, oh, it took a lot for them to do it, because I know it's not easy for me to do that. So I just like, okay, here, you know, and I just take it as a loss. Like, if I get it back, it's a blessing. If I don't, I already counted it as a loss. I could afford to lose it. But if I can't, if I don't have it, I'm not going to give it. And one thing I hate about it is that people take your kindness for weakness.
They do.
And I just don't understand it. I always think about, because I'm going through something recently, and I just think about it like, God, what are you trying to teach me? Like, no, seriously. I always think of that, because I'm like, I did it out of the kindness of my heart. And even if you weren't going to give it back, but if you block me and you're not picking up my phone calls and you went go somewhere, it's just like, not only did you hurt me because you owed me money and I took a loss, okay, that's one thing. But it's like, you rather salvage our friendship, our relationship as family members. So it's just like, did I even really matter to you? And I think that's what hurts me the most. Because all you had to do is pick up the phone and say, I don't have it. I can't do it. But when I see you block me, then I have to go on somebody else's page to see that you balling. You living your life. You got a new car. You in a new apartment. And I'm stuck because of what I did for you out of the kindness of my heart. So it's basically like a slap in the face.
It is.
And I promise you, I had to pray, I had to pray, I had to pray. Because being a Christ follower, when they be like, oh, somebody slapping you, you have to turn the other cheek, you really have to be that way, because I could let my anger, because I really wanted to do some things. My mind had went somewhere, but I had just had to remember, I just handle it with yes, handle it with grace, yeah. I guess. Yes, I'm still praying.
Yeah.
Just charge it to the game. That's what I do.
Yeah, I used to always say that. But I'm like, how much stuff I'm going to charge to the game?
Being the bigger
You'll
person.
Get your blessing.
Yes, and that's what I said.
Get your blessing.
But yeah, he's going to turn it around.
He sure will.
How about you, Ms. Shea Marie?
In the past, like you said, I was free with my money. You know, I feel like, you know, money is always going to be coming. I'm the type of person, I don't hold on to money so tightly, because it's going to keep flowing. And I've had people who borrow, the thing I hate is people who borrow money from me and then, you know, halfway pay you back. Like, they'll pay one payment or installment and then forget that they owe you the rest of the money and then ask you for some more money on top of that. But with that, I think going forward, because to be honest, I'm recovering from a hard financial year last year. It was hard for me. So I'm recovering now, getting, you know, and looking at things in a new light. So with that, you know, there's only one person I would continue to lend money to, because that person is a reliable person. But going forward, I'm a single mother.
Yeah.
So basically, don't be living with your mom or your parents and asking me for money.
Let me sip this.
Because it's me, Lachey, taking care of a child, doing what I have to do. Yeah, sip. So that's what I'm looking at. I have to put me and my son in you know, priority. I have to make our home, our household a priority.
Yes.
So going forward, the answer is no.
And you have to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so
It's hard, but you have. But you know what I'm confused about is, okay, I had this big deal that I was working on, and with this deal, I was missing about, I think it was like $9,000. And one of my friends, I ended up borrowing the money from him. When I borrowed the money from him, the money that I was going to make, I was going to give him the money he let me borrow plus interest, but the interest was just going to be bonus. And I just don't know. I say all that to say this. I don't know how people borrow money and it doesn't bother them.
It bothers
Honey, I can't even eat or sleep. I was just like, hold on. Then when the deal ended up not going through, the deal ended up falling through, whatever. I ended up telling my friend, like, okay, the deal didn't go through, but I'm going to go ahead and, he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, go ahead and give it. I promise you, I don't care if I couldn't eat. I couldn't, whatever it is, I made sure that I got that money. And even though I didn't give it with the interest, even though he wasn't anticipating interest, I was just going to give it as a given bonus. You understand what I mean? It still bothered me that I had, like, I don't know how someone borrows money from someone and it's just like, it's so carefree. Yeah. They don't care. They don't pay you back.
Right. And I just feel like that.
Excuse me.
That's them revealing their true characteristics. That's them revealing their heart. That's how I feel. Because me, if I borrow, I don't care if I borrow something simple from you. It could be $20. If I say I'm going to give it back on this day, I'm going to give it back this day. And communication is such a big thing when you borrow something from someone, especially money.
Acknowledge it.
Yes, but if you couldn't give it to me this day when you told me, a quick text, you'll appreciate it. Like, hey, or if I told you I'm going to bring it 6 o'clock and it's 9 o'clock, I already text you and let you know I'm running late.
Yeah. Communication is key.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know.
If your face not good with people, you're not going to go anywhere. Because when somebody lets you borrow money, that means they trust you. And once you destroy that trust, you cut strings, you cut the bridges of the people that you could depend on.
Let me tell you, with that same situation I was telling you about, this particular deal that I was working with an individual. I'm not going to say because I'm just not going to put the business out there, but it was a family member. So here it is. I'm working this business deal, whatever, with this family member, and I was just like, okay, I'm missing like 9 to 10 grand. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I know where to get it from. And then that person looked at me and was like, oh, you know where to get $9,000 to $10,000? I was like, yeah, I know. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when your face clean,
good.
When your face clean, it's clean. And when I asked my particular friend, it was just kind of like, yeah, when you need it by. Like, you understand what I mean? And that person couldn't get it. And that particular person that I was doing the deal with, that person is not reliable. Their face is not clean. So they would never know where to go get even goddamn $100 if you ask me. Because if it's for me, you ain't even getting not $1.
But why would you even do business with that?
Well, that's because I ended up finding out later. Life lessons. Yeah. Life lessons.
Okay. Hey, sippers, no matter how you slice it, it still is a monster that wears an ugly face and can wreck the lives of people the way a mighty hurricane does. It is difficult to stomach the fact that two people who were once madly in love, thinking of the other as the greatest thing that ever happened to them, and then end up fighting like jungle warriors, or even bowing down and departing in peace. With billions of dollars on the line, Jeff Bezos, founder and chief executive officer of Amazon, and his ex-wife, novelist Mackenzie Bezos, announced their separation, not only their separation, but their divorce has been finalized. After his divorce from Mackenzie, Bezos will be the #1 richest man in the world. His net worth is estimated at $110 billion, and Mackenzie is right behind him as the 3rd richest woman of the world and the 26th richest on the planet. Sippers, what are your thoughts about this divorce? So I don't know much about them, but what I have heard that he had a girlfriend who was on some show, I think Dancing with the Stars, I'm not 100% sure. But he said that the wife knew that they were already separated, even though their divorce wasn't finalized, but he had already moved on. So that was kind of, and they didn't have a prenup because she was with him from the very beginning. Before Amazon was even built, before it was even a thought, she was in his life. What I think about this divorce, I feel like she got what she deserved, half of his earnings. I don't think she needed it because she had her own thing going on and she would, but I feel like it's well deserved. Get half.
Right. Well, honey, sister girlfriend Mackenzie is paid 31, 36 $billion, I think it was. Billions. I ain't mad at her, not one bit. But one of the great things about their relationship, honestly, is although the divorce was settled, they still tweeted great things about each other. Like
Yes.
she said that, you know, she thanked her family and friends for being in her corner and checking up on her. And he said that, you know, my wife, Mackenzie was a great asset in my life. She's a great mother. She's a great ally. So it was beautiful. It was beautiful to know that they were able to part ways and still have so much great things to say about each other, because as ladies, you know, divorce can get really nasty.
Yeah.
It can get really nasty. So for them to still have that relationship, or even the publicist, even if it's the publicist that wrote out for them to say what they did say, it's still a good look on both of them. You understand what I mean? So it was great way to bow down and just separate and say, hey, we're not going to be together. And honey, I guess I'd wipe my tears and be okay with a couple of billions.
Yeah.
And I think she could get anybody after this.
Yeah, but
Sis, I don't think I wanted everybody. Billions, I'm having you sign a prenup from the door.
well, I first want to say that I admire the fact that they part ways in a positive way and no one had anything negative to say about each other. If he was seeing someone else, I never heard about the scandal, but they did a damn good job hiding it from the media. As far, you know how they say money is the reason for all breakup, majority of the divorces? Well, they had billions and they still couldn't hold it together. So that explains to you money isn't.
Yeah. It's not, but you know, they were together for over 25 years. And I remember when we talked about a segment on our show, some people just grow apart, people change. So,
and I think that's what it was. I think they grew apart. You know, sometimes you think that you're going to spend the rest of your life with someone, and that's not always the case. After a couple of years, you may start to fall out of love with that individual, and it happens all the time. As far as, I think women needs 3 things. That's attention, your presence, and comfort. And maybe she wasn't getting all of that because remember, he's the CEO of Amazon. Maybe he couldn't be there. He couldn't go on family vacations or do things that she wanted to do because he had to keep his nose in the business majority of the time. Again, he's the CEO. You want to watch over your business. You want to make sure that everything is going the way it should to maintain its name. But I wish them both peace and happiness. You know, I can't speak on what happened. Like I always say, there's 3 sides to a story. The truth, her side, and his side.
Mm-hmm.
So is he the founder of Amazon?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So before him, there was no Amazon?
No.
Oh, wow. So he's earned his money, you know, because I was trying to figure out, like, if he's the CEO, some company is paying him all these billions of dollars, but it makes sense if he's the founder. I give them kudos for parting and, you know, not having anything negative to say about each other. I personally don't understand the whatever the deal was, the separation deal or whatever. I wouldn't, to be honest, necessarily agree with it because you're one of the richest women in the world. He's the richest man. Like, you need more money?
But she wasn't the richest because that was his money. So
Right.
So it says that she was the richest.
No,
she's the third.
after
After
the
divorce.
divorce.
Okay. So then,
Because when they're married, his money is her money. But of course, she earned money because she was a novelist and she did other things outside of the marriage. But she wasn't a billionaire.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I really don't. I mean, money. So
you one of those people, you like.
at a certain point, money doesn't matter. I wouldn't think money would be the primary issue.
I don't think they were ever fighting about money. But
right.
they didn't have
But
a prenup.
even for the divorce, like the separation, you know?
You don't think she deserved to get the money?
I mean,
So you one of those you wasn't with me shooting in the gym type of people?
but she was. But she was.
I was
yeah.
thinking, you know,
Yeah.
how you said people outgrow each other. But I was thinking, like, maybe that was her purpose in his life.
What?
Because sometimes, like we said before, when it depends on who your spouse is, maybe if he was not married to her, it would have never been Amazon. Maybe she was so supportive. We don't know her role in the relationship, how she played a part in the birthing of Amazon.
Well, if that's the case, then I would say she deserved more than what she got.
But the fact that she's married to him, she had kids, she raised kids, and imagine when this is he's the richest man in the world.
Exactly.
So the fact that he built this from the ground up, there's pictures I can that surfaced online in his garage, and it says Amazon, like put up with tape, duct tape. So that means he had to be attentive then, very attentive to his goal, his dream. So that means she probably was playing the part where she probably felt like a single mother because he was not always around. So I feel like, yes, she deserved it.
So if that's the case, based on him being worth $100 billion, I mean, she should get, I would say, half of that.
I think she got what she well deserved.
But 30 billion, he's worth over 100 billion.
36.
Sis, that's enough money. She never gonna go broke.
I would have been shocked if I won.
But she's kind of, I'm sure a lot of her input went into the creation of Amazon.
But the thing is, and this is what I think, she doesn't care about money.
Just like on the movie with Taraji. Remember how he came and gave her some money?
I'm pretty sure she still owns part of Amazon.
No.
She doesn't.
You don't think she has any shares?
Have any?
No. So
shares?
this is the thing. I think communication was a big part of their whole thing. He did bow out gracefully. They both did. Because it wasn't a secret that he was, well, it was a secret at first, but I guess someone tried to blackmail him because they had pictures with this lady who is now his girlfriend. I don't remember her name. They had pictures, and they were trying to exploit him, ask him for money, or I'm going to put these pictures out on the tabloids. I don't know if he put the pictures out himself, and then he announced the divorce. So people wouldn't get it confused, like he's not cheating on his wife. They were already separated or whatnot. And they already going through a divorce, because that was all quiet until that person tried to, and I think that was her cousin or somebody that was close to her, the girlfriend, that tried to put the pictures out. So, I don't know.
Like I said before, even at $1 billion, that's enough to wipe my tears and mend my heart.
Even if you created half the company.
Girl, 36. You can spend money a whole year recklessly and still not go broke. You don't know how much.
I understand, but I'm just saying the principle.
No, that's okay. And she didn't walk away with any property. I feel like she wanted that because she could have had everything.
Yeah,
she had no prenup. She didn't take she only took the money. Yeah. She didn't take part ownership. He didn't have to step down. He still achieved. That's all she got is the $36 billion. I would be satisfied. Yeah. I don't need the houses. It's too much memories with you.
Toodles.
Go ahead.
Take you in the go ahead with you in the houses.
Well, we would love to keep the tea spilling, but unfortunately, we're running out of time. But you can keep the conversation going by leaving your comments below on Facebook or Instagram at Cocktails and Conversations.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. See you Friday night at 8 p.m. at Cocktails and Conversation with your girls. Good night.